Hello everyone, at Westy Rail 75B back again with another Train Simulator 2022 video. Today I am driving one of the scenarios that I have made all by myself, which you can find on my website, and the link will be in the description up below. So, good evening again, driver. You have already switched from AC to DC power and closed the doors, so you're good to go when you're ready. The rain has finally stopped, so it should be a relatively clear run, save for a few late running services. Typical. Your timers can be found in your F1 briefing. Enjoy. I'm sure we will. So I'll just close this and I'll set up the cab. It's a bit finicky as I'm using the power brake controller. Cancel the AWS.
AWS and AWS operational.
Cancel the passenger alarm. I do appreciate the AWS operational. That should really be my ringtone. So set it to forwards, and then this is the best bit.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Thanks, Julie Berry. Much appreciated. So we've got the green signal, we've got the road, so we can just slowly power up. Just turn off the HUD briefly, just so you can see the cab. This is actually one of the steepest gradients in the UK coming up here, so I'm just trying to apply just enough power that we don't stall, and also that we don't spad at this red coming up here. Typically, just as we come into a stop, the service in front has cleared the section, so it's going to power up again, or attempt to, just so we can stop at the end of the platform here at Blackfriars. Hello. So we'll stop at the reduced length unit sign just coming up. A smooth stop for the passengers. Press into neutral and open the doors on the left hand side. So if I look just outside here at Blackfriars, this is of course the Class 700 with the Armstrong Powerhouse enhancement pack applied to it, as the default version is questionable, let's say. Let's get back in the cab. Should be on the way shortly. The cab is from the enhancement pack. They've added the stickers here, which obviously for a 12 car is a full length unit. Unfortunately, we don't have working TMS screens in here or GSMR, unfortunately. Okay, platform G is complete, so we can close the doors. That's another new feature of the enhancement pack. It's DOO mode. Wrong way. Tell me if it was in forward. You can see now we have got a working doors interlock light here, which should extinguish at about 5 miles an hour. There we go. Slowly put it away here at Blackfriars. Up to 30 miles per hour. And we've got green there. So I'm going to have a word with the signaller about that. That shouldn't happen. You said the signal before was green, and this one suddenly turned from red to green. And the irregularity, so in real life you'd have to stop and report that to the signaller. So we've got double yellow here. And of course the AWS magnet is bugged there, thanks Dovetail Games. Just keep her nice and steady around 30 miles per hour. So I was saying with the enhancement pack does add DOO to it, so full door controls, which is a staple feature of a lot of Armstrong Powerhouse packs recently. Now I am a guard in real life, so DOO makes me very sad. So, but it is in here anyway. Of course, prototypically, all Thameslink services in real life are DOO services. It's driver only operated. So the driver operates the doors, both opening and closing them. And also on Thameslink services, there's no onboard supervisor. So obviously we've only got an 8-car train, but a 12-car train. Busy service if there are issues. It means the driver's got to deal with everything themselves. The speed limit here is 50 miles per hour. I've not done it this route like the back of my hand, unlike the routes I do it in real life. So the HUD will have to be displayed at various intervals, just so there's no more mistakes than usual. Just coming in now to Elephant and Castle. We've got a red signal, starting signal here. So coming nice and gently. Just found the brakes a little bit uncomfortable. Blame me entirely for that. After all, I am driving. So we stopped at the all marker. So all is for reduced length and full length units. Of course, again, reduced length is 8 cars and full length is 12 cars. But I believe all services are on this route, especially the Orpington service, Sevenoaks services, Sutton services, and Raynham are all operated with 8-car trains due to platform lengths, and the 12-car trains are used on services, for example, to Cambridge, Peterborough, Brighton, East Grinstead, etc. Okay, platform duties complete again. We have got a yellow aspect. Close the doors. Check for the interlock. You've got interlock, and off we go again. So of course in real life, if the interlock light didn't come on, it would mean a set of doors was struggling to close. So if it's at the very rear of the train, it would be fairly annoying for the driver to have to walk all the way back. But that's the joys of driver only operated. So as we just have a yellow aspect, we are just going to ease off a little bit, just in anticipation that next signal may in fact be at red. So we do have an aspect, which I will see in a second. It's a double yellow, so the next signal after this double yellow aspect would have been red, however it has now cleared. Clear up to line speed to 60 miles per hour. And your next station stop is Denmark Hill. Okay, another yellow aspect is a double yellow, so I'm just going to ease off on the power, just coast for a little bit, and it's turned to green. But we do have a 20 miles an hour restriction coming up, so there's no point accelerating. Passengers would not be very happy with that. An uncomfortable ride. despite the ironing board seats on these units. We will have a look at the passenger view in a little while, and just while we get out of sort of the central London area. Bit of stutter there. I do prefer to have settings on high and have lower FPS. As long as it's above 30, G-Sync does its job properly. I find otherwise the visuals can be quite distracting. Not as distracting as me, of course, but I just got warning board, advanced warning board for the 20 miles an hour speed restriction. I acknowledge the AWS automatic warning device. Warning device. And we've got the D in the route indicator, which I don't know this route off by heart, but I suspect the D will stand for Denmark Hill. I could be wrong though. As I said, I don't sign this route, so I would not know. And nice and fast 20 miles an hour through here. Loughborough Junction. Or Lugabaruga Junction. It is in fact, it is Loughborough. And there's the train that was holding us up just there. Thanks, mate. Just coming around the curve here at Loughborough Junction. Nice steady pace. We did have a green, so we are. Here we go. That's the bing. For say the signal ahead is green as well, so there's no point applying any power. It is a tiny bit of a gradient here. So we'll just keep the power up a little bit. 1 in 5.9. Denmark Hill, we are still estimated to arrive on time, so actually that wasn't too bad getting out of Blackfriars today. I didn't mention this is the second part in a two-part scenario. First part for Midland Main Line, Bedford to St Pancras, which is quite an old route. Whereas the route which we're currently on is Chatham Main Line, London Victoria and Blackfriars to Dover Priory and Ramsgate, which is actually probably one of the best Dovetail Games releases in recent times, to be honest. Very well detailed, especially the section past Faversham down towards Dover and Ramsgate is very, very nicely done. I do also have scenarios available for those sections as well, if you are interested, of course. We are a little bit early, so we're just going to coast into Denmark Hill. And there's a London Overground service on our right hand side, heading towards Clapham Junction. And another Thameslink service coming in. Heading towards Blackfriars. That doesn't sound good, does it? It's a bug with the 378 there. I think I said 378 before, London Overground 378. 387's of course Gatwick Express units. Just bring it to a nice steady stop here. Just while we are here, this is the passenger view. Antimacassars on the first class here, which I'm surprised none of these have been nicked yet. We are one at Denmark Hill, and so they're very popular with other enthusiasts as well. It's not a bad passenger view. I believe it hasn't been modified much from the original. Oh, and a little race out there. Goodbye. Again, the sounds just sort of loops there for some reason. Just a bug with the 378. Okay, back into the cab. So in real life, these screens here, you'd have a train management system here. And you'd also have one of the screens is showing the door cameras. So, you know, an old-fashioned other units you'd be using these monitors, which are linked to CCTV cameras and on the platform. But on 700s, of course, there are in-cab cameras. Signal's green, we can close the doors. I do appreciate this graffiti here, Deltic, something, I can't read that. All these are various types of trains, mostly locos, which is quite a nice touch from Dovetail Games, which they're quite obviously enthusiasts as well. Although they weren't very enthusiastic about releasing a default 700 with proper sounds, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that gives me too much. It's too painful to go through all that. All the various issues that are default 700, the default sounds. The sounds were ripped from the 395 for the sounds on AC power, and the sounds were ripped from door sounds from the 450 as well, the old 450. I do appreciate that COVID has meant that they were unable to sort of record things, but I think the community would rather have waited a little longer for it to have proper recordings. Thankfully, Armstrong Powerhouse have come to the rescue as usual and provided us with a decent set of sounds. Nice smooth stop here at the all sign. Yeah, proper door sounds there. They're not from a 450, funny enough. And down here more graffiti, you see clag. I mean 700s don't clag, but older locos do. Let's just see how we're doing. So we're actually on time. Chart here at 1841. So the sounds are they're very good in Armstrong Power as usual. The price point is relatively high for what it is, considering we're not getting a working GSMR, we're not getting working TMS screens. The 375, 377 enhancement pack was around the same price, and does have these features as well. So that's a slight disappointment with the price. However, the sounds are accurate. We're not going to hear the AC sounds on this run, but the DC sounds, the UFO, if you like, as it's nicknamed, UFO sounds are spot on for pretty much. I do spend a lot of time around these units, travelling on them. So the sounds are very spot on. Features wise, in terms of enhancements, we're really getting these stickers. Obviously the driver, you have reset the DRA, a nice Julie Berry, that's on here, although that was added in a free community patch as well. And a new AWS sound as well, but again that's to do with sounds, but in terms of enhancements it's really just the main one being a DOO with the door control, which is something that is important on these units, seeing as they all operate DOO for Thameslink. Of course, for South Western Railway, they are operated with a guard. I do believe South Eastern is DOO as well. .60 miles an hour, however, we are getting cautionary aspects. So the starting signal at the end of the platform at Nunhead will be at danger. And a warning here for the reduced speed as the lines towards Dartford's leave us towards the left after Nunhead. And we'll be taking the second position of routing to take us around the Catford Loop. It's going to be nice and easy, per se. So they've got a pair of 465s coming up here from Dartford, and that's why we have got a red signal at the end of the platform. Make sure the racer doors on the right hand side, DRA on and reverse into neutral. I appreciate 465 motors very much. Don't think we'll be able to hear it depart, but I do have other scenarios featuring 465s if you do want to hear those motors. Close the doors. Wait for Julie Barry to give us the all clear.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
I have checked the signal, thank you Julie Barry, and we are on the way again, 40 miles an hour through here. I keep mentioning Julie Barry, that is the voice of the, well, of the DRA. She doesn't live inside the DRA, but that is her voice. The same voice can be found also on board announcements. Thameslink, Southern other GTR services. And also my favourite ones of hers, the Piccadilly line announcements as well. Just slowly easing off. It's 40 run. This is a relatively sharp curve. We're back with the train to go to 50, so we can speed up to 50 up towards Crofton Park. Bing. There we go, a pair of 68s on the Dungeness nuclear flask train. Taking nuclear material from the power station in Dungeness. I got the power. Just coming into Crofton Park now. Hopefully they haven't left the nuclear material behind anywhere, that'd be a bit worrying. Although, if you could leave it anywhere, if you live at Catford or Bellingham, that would be much appreciated. And I am saying that as a South Londoner. That sort of screaming noise, if you like, the wind whistling is another feature. Apparently the 700s do have this in real life. And it's been faithfully replicated. It does sound a bit like a siren. It's not the Rozzers coming to arrest me for awful driving or for playing too much Train Simulator. It is that whistling of air. The long dwell time is to simulate many passengers boarding or alighting before closing the doors. It's typically, this time it is rush hour, therefore you have got quite a few people boarding and alighting. We'll close the doors as soon as that's finished happening. It should not be too much longer. he says. Yeah, we have the interlock signal screen. Off we go again to Catford. Meow. Catford twinned with Barking. It's still 50 in this section, and Catford is just coming up around the corner. If the movement of the power brake handles is seem notched, it's because I'm using a power brake controller. In real life, the handle is not notched, notched. In real life, the handle is not notched, which means that it's a smoother operation. But because I'm using a power brake handle, power brake controller, it does appear to be notched. It's not in real life. Not notched. That's an advance warning board for the commencement of a 40 miles per hour speed restriction. This is a relatively slow line. It's fine for stopping Thameslink services, but few southeastern services do run around here, so that it's painfully slow. But what can you do? Nice smooth stop into Catford. Barely felt that stop. So just outside of Catford quickly. It's here somewhere. He says, I thought I knew this area better than I obviously do. Oh, it's right next to it, in fact, the Catford Bridge. That's the line towards Hayes. Again, just waiting for people to be boarding or lighting, or alighting even. Should not be too much longer. Off we go again, green signal. We got the interlock, so we can get going again. As far as 40 miles per hour. And to our next station stop at Bellingham. Where many famous people are from. Or person. Typically, I've noticed it's got slightly gloomier as we're passing through this area of South London. It's typical, really. The weather, that is. Back up to 60, but there's not much point. It will be when the rear of the unit passes over it. But again, there's not much point accelerating as we're not too far away from Bellingham. Half a mile away. And another Thameslink service just passing us there. Suspect towards London Blackfriars. Slowing down again for Bellingham. Gonna stop just short of the mark, otherwise we will trip the circuit block. There's other features while we're here. Not much, to be honest with you. So it's the default cab, and the default cab is actually, I think it's nice. I think the default model is, I think it's, you know, as good as it can be. It's just the sounds that let the whole thing down, really. Everyone's nearly loaded. I'm not charting until 53 anyway. Close the doors. Signal's green. Check for the interlock. Yeah. And off we go again. Next station stop is Beckenham Hill, and about half a mile. And next to us there is Bellingham Siding, and there is one service that stables there overnight, to be bright and early to start a nice early service in the morning. But I would not want to sleep there overnight. Nice joint sounds there. When I say joint sounds, I'm not talking about South London. I'm talking about the points. And again, this is coming from someone who grew up in South London. Neutral for Beckenham Hill. A nice route master up there, nice touch. And it still has its wheels. Just coming into Beckenham Hill. Slightly short there, just like coast. Perfect. Just waiting for these lovely passengers to finish boarding on our lighting. Of course, this is the outside of the unit. Ooh. Completely forgot that's another feature. The windows can open. I believe that's an enhancement pack. I might be wrong. That might be by default. Signal's green, but you can get going again. Check for interlock. There we go. Oh, and another feature, the warning horn. We'll just do it to parche from outside. It might be rather high up in the sounds, but decent horn as well. And some relatively decent weathering on here as well. So the repaint by Armstrong Powerhouse is well done. Of course, the other feature I didn't talk about, so we have the Thameslink with both the old and the new logo. We have South West Trains, ex-South West Trains, so that's South Western Railway branding. And of course we have South Eastern City Beam. And my other beef, if you like, about this pack is that it's advertised as a 700, 707, 717 pack. Fair enough. However, the 717 is intended for I/O purposes only, so it's very nice they included the reskinning for the 717. It'll be very useful for East Coast mainline scenarios. However, to advertise it as a -717 pack indicates it is drivable. slightly misleading. I do understand that it's not drivable, of course, because it's a lot of work to create a new cab. With that being said, it should be advertised as 700 or 707 pack. Hopefully one day we will get a cab for the 717, and of course be happy to pay a little bit extra for that as well. Very quick stop there at Ravensbourne. Of course we have got proceed aspect. It is a single yellow, so what I should have done when we stopped is put the DRA on just to remind me that the signal is yellow.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Off we go again. So I'll take a slightly different route today as we are going down towards Orpington. A very slow crossover. Just say 50, it doesn't, I don't know how much I would trust that, but if that's what it says, that's what it says. But we are just going to coast down just because, you can see here we've got banner repeater, which was showing as a danger signal. So the one on the left is showing the next signal's danger, this one is showing the connected signal is showing a proceed aspect, which is a single yellow. So I'm just spinning up a little bit because we do have an uphill gradient to contend with. But you see that banner repeater was there because we could not see the signal around the curve. It's time just to coast a little bit, just so we stop time for the next signal, which I believe is actually at the end of the platform at Shortlands. So we do have a single yellow aspect. Obviously following something that's late, something southeastern of course. The reason we are behind there, it also stops at very similar stops to us. And we don't want to get in the way of any fast services. Just going to a nice gentle stop here at Shortlands. I will put the DRA on just to remind me the signal is a single yellow. Open the doors. Okay, which are here about now. We've got to wait for passengers to board and alight. I suspect the service in front of us is a service from Victoria to Orpington. Did make the scenario. I don't want to spoil the surprise for myself. Boarding complete. What I also should have done is had the reverser in neutral.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Yes, southeastern pair of 465s there, heading about on their business. They are lovely, lovely units to travel on. Lovely sounding units. I say a pair is just one. I believe the next signal is not too far away. I haven't yet confirmed it's still a change to a proceed aspect. It is in fact still red. So I see the service in front has not yet departed. Probably south. 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 That's my South London accent coming in there. South London. Nice gentle stop at this red signal. Hopefully it won't be much longer and it will leave the platform ahead. It'd be embarrassing if my scenario was broken. However, it has been extensively tested. It should be working. Let's have a look. There we go, it's just departing now. So we've got a few services coming in that are faster than us anyway, so there we go, we've got proceed aspect.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Thank you, Julie Berry. Next stop, Bromley South. Well, during there at 1903. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. See the reduced length unit sign coming up just here. So this is where we will be stopping. Nice smooth stop again. Doors on the right hand side. And DRA on. Just remind me, we do have a single yellow aspect at the end of the platform. Next station stop after Bromley South is Bickley. And then Petswood, of course, twinned with Catford and Barking. Shouldn't be too much longer. Confirm interlock, yep.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
The other sound I'd like you to notice when we're stationary is the air conditioning whir. It's not too overwhelming like in the 377 pack. But I know you can turn it off in that pack. But it's quite a it's a non-distracting sound, which is quite good. Now my volume is on max. The motor sounds etc. are relatively quiet, even slightly from the outside. But I anticipate because they are relatively new units, introduced just a few years ago, is why the cab is quite quiet, which is good for the drivers in real life, I guess, because not all of them are enthusiasts. Just going to coast. Got a red for our liners, but the driver in front is taking his time, and it's now cleared. Accelerate a little bit, just because we are a little bit late. We do a red at the end of the platform, so we are just going to again coast. Change to single yellow, the service in front is accelerating away from us. I'm noticing a little bit of flickering on texture, so I just need to amend my settings a little bit as well, I think, after this run, just to make them perfect. Smooth stop. Doors on the correct side. DRA. Fast service overtaking us now. Heading down towards the Kent coast, and then we can depart again now.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Brake cam just briefly disconnected there. It's connected again, so that's why it's a little bit jolty there. Sorry, passengers. Next station stop, Petswood, and another Thameslink service there heading up towards St Albans, I believe. A 30-mile-an-hour restriction coming up, and a single yellow as well. We do have junction 2 on the junction indicator. And junction position 2 of it means that this one here. Position 1 would have meant that we took the junction just to our right there, and position 2 means we're taking it the second. Well, so the second exit. I don't want to use car terms in trains, but sort of I can liken it to. Same way that people say traffic lights, and that's makes me cringe very much. Or yellow, that were now amber. Or the other way around even. Of course, on the road we have well. We have amber lights. On the railway we have yellow lights. We have signals on railways and traffic lights on roads. Two things not to be confused with. We have 50 miles an hour speed restriction here. I can now accelerate a little bit further. So we did have a red signal here, but now it's single yellow. Notice I said yellow there. We've kept the speed up as we do still have a yellow aspect here. Double yellow. Southeastern service stop there, with a green aspect behind it. Thank you to Train Simulator bugs there. That should not be the case. Again, that would not happen in real life. It's a bug with Train Simulator. Appears to have broken down that unit. And Petswood here. Nearly there at Orpington. Just got to get to part here at Petswood, and we will be on our way.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Sorry, too late, too late. Should have been here in time. Now just accelerating away from my problems. off towards Orpington. Well, this might be the fastest move I've got on this run so far. And then there is a yellow, so the yellow aspect. Slowing down now. So we are coming to Orpington, platform 8, as per what used to be called a theatre box. Now nice and easy into Orpington. We'll let our lovely people off and we'll be going off into the sidings. The sidings. And that's obviously the service there that we were stuck behind, so thanks for that. However, we are arriving, I believe we're arriving roughly on time. Some lovely buses there. Omsey London moment. Just make sure we're staying below 12 miles an hour for the TPWS ramps, otherwise it will think we're not stopping, and it will stop us to avoid us hitting the buffer stops here. Train protection warning system. Of course, here we have the famous paper called Shonk. Wonderful. Okay, release the doors. So we are going to be changing ends, so we're going to shut the cab down at DRA. Exterior lights, I believe. So notice they were already set for us, I believe, to put them onto. It's a bit confusing this because normally it will be this part that determines where the switch is set at, but it is actually the larger end here, the longer end, that's where the switch is set out. So I believe that the tail lights, I'll double check in a second. Obviously we're in full service. In a second we will take the master key out. Please change engines and proceed into the down carriage silence when you get the signal and when you are ready. So I will actually close the doors from this end. In real life, platform staff would be going up and down the train, making sure there's nobody in before locking each set of doors out, before it can proceed into the carriage sidings. So I noticed what I didn't have on was the driver vigilance device, which is now on, and that's why the major alarm light was red. But driver vigilance device, when it is activated, which is a feature of this, there you go, it will show the major alarm will be off and the vigilance device is active. You might hear this in a second, so just double check we have tail lights on. Yep, tail lights are set. Hello there, hello. So we're just going to take the master key out. Of course, neutral is also off on these units, so that's that out. We're going to switch to the other cab, pretend we've walked, pretend it's taking me a long time to walk to the other end. So we're in, and we will set up this end of the train.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Okay, so we do have a proceed aspect. The signal alert is being nice to us today. I think we are booked to sit here until 1926, but of course in real life, if you are empty coaching stock, as soon as you get the signal you can proceed, as there are no passengers to wait for. So we've already shut the doors from the other end, so we've got doors locked. DRA can go off.
Driver, you have reset the DRA.
course, the lights are already automatically set. So we can proceed into the carriage sidings. And then we will be done for the evening. Limited to the carriage sidings, I'll say 20, however, most carriage sidings are 10, so we are really just going to take it nice and easy. Nice and easy. We should have the so he's just putting it in here. Of course, you noticed on the main signal we did have the number 3, which is carriage siding 3 or road 3. Not far now, just a slow crawl into the end to buffer stops. Safety device / vigilance device going off there. Just left that on so you to hear what it is. I don't think there's any more features to cover in this unit really. Again, before we stop, it is a solid effort by Armstrong Power. Lovely sounds. Slightly overpriced in terms of the features. However, the features we normally get from enhanced packs are there, and the liveries are very nice, which is much appreciated. There are 3 scenarios included, all for Chatham main line as well. Slightly coming to a stop here. And then we can shut down the cab and go home. Service there going up towards London Charing Cross. Okay, so we have arrived at the carriage sidings. We're just going to shut down the cab. Our driver is successfully navigated through the busy evening rush hour traffic. Time to clock off for the evening. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Westy Rail 75B. Check out my other videos on my channel and check out my scenarios in the description below. Enjoy. And if you have any questions, any feedback, visit me on my Facebook page. I'll be more than happy to help. Thanks very much. Until next time.